Well, what's the situation, bro? Oh, I forgot my walking stick.
I'm going to put this here walking stick together. We are trying out an area we've never tried before. We've shed hunted it, and we found big elk sheds, good genetics, 7-point genetics. But it's always just been so far to get into, and we just decided we're just going to go for it. What the heck? If we kill one, we'll deal with the consequences of packing it out.
Has to be big though.
It's going to have to be if it's right by the trail, you know, pretty meat hungry. But if it's over the top, it's going to have to be pretty big elk. But we're just more, it's just going to be, I think it's going to be a good experience. We've got good weather. We're kind of in the back country where we shouldn't run into any people, and should be some muleys and some bulls back here. Probably wolves, unfortunately, but hopefully find some bulls. Well, we've been hiking all morning. It's 9 o'clock now, so we've been hiking for probably 4 hours. And we've never been up here. We're scouting a new area, but this is the bench we want to camp on, and boy, does it feel good, because as soon as we left the creek down there, we haven't seen a flat spot for a tent. It's been a couple thousand vertical feet. We're going to get up on this bench and go find a place to camp where it's close to water. Go do an evening hunt today, and then we'll be here a couple days, see what happens.
Well, we set our tent in the middle of a bear trail.
There's like bear beds and stuff up there under the alders. But I'll put Tom on the bear trail side because he sleeps so hard. After having a bear bite our QU tent last year, I'm sure I'll be sleeping with a gun right next to me, like I always do. Tom the whole way up's like, why is my pack so light? He's like, I feel like I'm forgetting something. Forgot his binoculars, his optics.
Yeah. It's not country you want to forget your binos too. There's some gorgeous country up here.
We'll see.
Such an easy kill. He's barefoot. Both barefoot.
Well, Tom and I, it's like 2 o'clock, probably 80 degrees. And we've been hiking since daylight. This was the first bugle we got up in the head end of this basin, and we were just like, let's just take our shoes off and let it air out, and see if he'll give him a little bit of time. And this thing, we heard rocks rolling over the hill. I had one shoe off and one on. Tom had both his shoes off. I peeked up over that rock right there, and all I could see is plates coming up. So I got ready. He's only like 20 yards, but I could see it was a raghorn, and I would have shot that thing if it was close to the pickup, but not back here. I don't even know what we're doing back here, but I guess the elk pull in when they've never seen a person before. So it's gonna have to be a pretty good pull or nothing.
Well, we thought we were the only crazy people to be back here, and we found another person back here today.
Yeah, it's a bummer when you pack back about 8 miles. We did manage to call in a smaller bull. Being this far back, that is not worth it.
Well, we took our tent down. We're aborting the mission.
I'm no Bart. We gave it 2 days, and everywhere that hunted all the basins that we're even semi-willing to pack an elk out of. And people have been camped up on top and got the elk ran out of this country, so we're gonna go try somewhere else. Just gonna enjoy the last of the good huckleberries for the year. These things are great.
I don't know what we're doing.
Oh man, it is now 11:55 midnight, and we are in the middle of nowhere looking for a place to camp. We don't know where we're at. We can see on the map we're going in the right direction, but this road doesn't look very well traveled.
We've never hunted this mountain before. We've never been even near this country before.
No, we're gonna camp tonight and head out in the dark and get up on a vantage point and try and glass and learn the country a little bit. See if we can find some elk to chase. We saw one in the headlights about 10 miles back, so there's at least an elk in this unit. Let's give it a shot.
Yeah. Well, we drove aimlessly for hours.
Oh my goodness.
And I think we're finally in a spot to sleep for the night. I don't know about this, we'll see. This might be just awesome. There might just be bulls screaming everywhere. But we're gonna sleep in the car tonight. Get an early start. Oh, there's a trail. Go for a morning hunt. Look at that opening. Shots at their spikes. It's nice to have a different scenery than what we're used to. Shav's got a herd spotted, but the heat waves are so bad, it's hard to see the size, but he sees a herd. There's a bull, of course a herd bull, and chasing around some other bulls that are trying to get into the herd. A little bit of rut activity.
I just watched a pretty brutal fight. I can't. Heat waves are so bad I can't see antlers. They're so far away. Well, we hiked, I don't know, probably 6-7 miles this morning, and we saw one little band of elk on this side. They had just little raghorns with there. That's just big. And saw a pretty good group of elk on this side, maybe 20. There was a couple bulls fighting. I couldn't see. The heat waves are so bad, but we're gonna try them next. So we're gonna head down, go around the mountain, and try that side.
Another day of sleeping in the van. elk doing now? Day 2.
Just gotta pull the bugle. We just gotta pull the bugle finally. Right in this notch. Cool. Get Trav ready.
Trav got ahead, and I stayed back to cow call.
What'd you do, Trav?
Well, we had a really good setup. And we had good wind. And Tom called, and the bull just came running down this ridge. And I could just see movement down in the trees there right by the opening. And I was set up in the opening, and then he just disappeared. I don't know. The wind was starting to swirl because it was right as the sun was coming up. Might have got a whiff of us. If he did, I think he went down the hole. It was close. I mean, he was maybe 50 yards from me. It's just in the brush. I never saw any horns or anything.
The elk are winning on this trip.
Yeah, we've had it. We're always looking for that place that maybe doesn't exist, but we're still looking, so we're gonna jump mountain ranges. We've seen a lot of elk. Nothing big at all, but they're not talking. We had one little bugle this morning, and there's just so many people. These things are so bugle wise. First thing they do is just circle around and get your wind and then take off running. So that's just hunting, though. But we like to go back where there's little people and the elk actually call in. So that's what we're looking for.
The last day. What's the situation?
After miles of hiking, we found 2 bulls bugling in this drainage. Pretty open lodge bulls, so we're getting the decoy ready.
Let's see what that thing looks like.
All right, going in. How's it look? How's it look?
Looks good. Bye.
Keep your radio on it. Keep your radio turned up so you can hear.
Okay.
I stayed back to keep the bull elk talking as Travis moved in quietly.
Trav just radioed me and told me he's stuck him. Oh, that's awesome. That's a good feeling. You did. Good shot. Hey, it was a good shot.
It looked good.
Good.
So Tom he stayed about at least a quarter to a half mile back because we knew this was a herd, but we talked to somebody yesterday at the trailhead. Said there's a big 6 in here, but he's a runner. And so I thought, well, you just stay there and keep him bugling because these herd bulls like to run. So I snuck in with this decoy. First time I've ever tried it. And it was going up there and the bull had cut down. He bugled right here on the other side of the meadow. My wind was blowing this way, so I cut down right here. He came out, and I heard him bugle, and then I saw his rack coming across that meadow. He had no idea I was here. So I knocked an arrow. I tried and range that tree over there. It was 38 yards, that far aspen. But I could not get a range through the tree to look at that elk. And he walked right out in the open, so I drew back like this. And the elk, is this decoy, saved my bacon because I had to walk all the way over here like this and draw to miss that alder tree. And so I shot between that aspen and that little alder. Put my 40 on him and let him have it. And it looked like a good shot. I walked out in the meadow as he was running up there, cow calling. And he kind of slowed down on top of that ridge, and then he took off running. We heard some big crash, and I don't know if he was running or if he actually piled up, but let's hope we got him. Oh yeah, we love to see that. Look at that, good blood. That looks good. That looks good. Let's hope and pray. Look at his swallow right here. It's incredible. Good shot. Well, I guess you can't see that yet until you find him. When I saw the shot, I thought that's a good shot. You know. Yeah. Right. So I hope so. But it wasn't in the lower third. I think it was about halfway. Yeah. Still look good.
Just giving it an hour. Trav likes to give him a little extra time just to be sure. I'm starting to see the roller coaster emotions going through him, starting to second guess himself on his shot.
Now, my first reaction when I saw the shot was that that's a dead bull, so I'm going to stick with that.
That's a good reaction to stick with.
Well, I like to give him an hour if I think it was a long shot, just to be sure. I like to give him 2 hours if I don't know where I hit, but I saw my arrow hit. It was a touch higher than I like to be, but it still looked like a double lung shot. And we heard a big crash, so we're pretty confident he's down. But we're gonna go in really slow, and it's been a solid hour since we shot. My arrow was there, the bull's standing here somewhere, and he ran down this trail. Let's go see what we find for blood. Push that tree over. He's definitely about the time we started hearing the crash.
He's dead.
See hair?
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, my heart just...
Oh my goodness. Not a whole lot of blood. That's the crash we heard.
It's good.
Oh my goodness, I'm so thankful.
We're not coming home empty-handed. Oh. Man, what a blood trail that was. Shoot, that was starting to freak me out. And he was going uphill. Nice one. 6 point.
5x6.
Oh, it's a 5x6. It's okay.
A 6x6.
Oh, he's a 6x6.
Hidden back there. Man, does it feel good to be back in the game getting 6 points. I know a lot of you guys asked, I shot a 6 point every year since I was 13 years old, and last year I did not get that bull. I shot a cow I was just way too selective. I drew a really good unit, and there was just a monster bull, maybe 380 plus, and I passed on a lot of good bulls trying to get that bull and just never could seal the deal. So I shot a cow to put some meat in the freezer, but my first year not getting a bull, and this year I was like, I learned my lesson. I'm not going to be so greedy. I'm going to shoot the first good meat bull that comes out, and thank goodness it just happened to be a 6-point. So back on the 6-point train. Hopefully that stays good, but if not, you know what, these things are such good eating. My kids, that cow I shot last year, my wife and kids ate that thing gone in like 2 months. So they like wild game, and so do I. So super thankful for this meet and this hunt, and able that my brother and I are able to be out here chasing these wild animals around in public land. Do it yourself. This is a general season tag, and we've put in a lot of miles this year, and Tom found one 6-point, and he was able to get an arrow in it somehow, and then this is the second bull that we've actually called in and managed to get an arrow in it. But I couldn't have done it without, for one, the decoy that I used on this trip. It just sneaking in solo to a herd bull, it gave me that extra 3 or 4 seconds that I needed before he was going to whirl. So super thankful coming out here with some meat. It's not too bad of a pack. I think we're about 1.6 miles from the rig. If we had a four-wheeler, it would be like we're probably only 300 yards from a four-wheeler trail, but we don't, so we're going to be packing all the way to the rig.
A lot of steaks right there.
Oops.
Oh, trap. Oh, you're cutting it up, not me. So you can stick that thing in the dirt as much as you want.
Great. Packing meat.
First pack out. All right. Last load. That's gonna be a big one.
Gonna be a heavy one. The bull died 100 yards from this four-wheeler trail we found out after we started packing. But we have a Suburban, and we couldn't get it past those boulders. We tried. So it would have been like a 100-yard pack, but it's about 1.5 miles, so not too bad. We got both the front quarters out. Now we're going back to get the rear quarters, the boned out meat, and the head and horns. So this one's gonna be heavy.
Well, that's a lot of meat right there. That's a hind quarter and the steaks, and then
And the boned out meat.
oh yeah, and the boned out meat. And Trav has a hind quarter and the rack. Isn't that nice how you just got a rack to prop yourself up?
That is nice. If I don't go over backwards. See how Tom's hunched over? That means it's heavy. That's a big old sack of deboned meat right there.
Hind quarter, the steaks, and a bunch of neck meat.
All the deboned meat. It's about a half an elk right there.
Killer.
We made it.
We made it. It was 3.5 miles. I just checked round trip to the elk, and then this morning we did 4.5 miles. So we did 8 miles this morning. Back in meat. It's 2:30. Shot him at 7:30. It was a good morning. Time to go home. See the kids. Got it done. This was we only had 3 days to hunt. We spent 2 days in southern Montana. I just wasn't impressed. We did see a few elk, but just tons of people. We were like, oh, this isn't for us. So we headed back north and tried to spot around central Montana that my little brother Trevor was working on a paving crew, and found some elk years ago. And it was just kind of a shot in the dark because we had to be back tomorrow for work. So we gave it last night. We didn't find anything. So we went in a different area today. We talked to one guy last night that said that there was a nice herd bull and a raghorn in that drainage, and he said that he pushed him that way about a week ago. So we just continued out that ridge until we got a bugle, and this was the herd bull. So it's a pretty sweet ride too. Tom makes fun of my rig. I got this little beater hunting rig instead of buying a camper and all that, and we sleep back here. There's all of our gear. There's full elk. I just turned the vents down, so we got like a cooler back here, keep the meat cool. Gonna crank the AC and we're gonna head home.
Make sure to subscribe for more Stuck in Rut videos, and thank you for watching. Next episode, we'll be hunting bears in the fall, so stay tuned.